Hi guys, this is Mrs. Johnson. Welcome to Forensics. I'm so glad that you signed up for it, or maybe your guidance counselor signed you up for it. I had most of you in 8th grade science, so we kind of already know each other, but I thought I'd just give a quick little intro here. Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you a quick picture. I know that you guys, like I said, kind of know me from the past couple of years, but this was my family. Now I dug through my phone and through my computer to try and find a picture of the four of us. Not a single picture of the four of us. This was the only picture I had of all three of them together. Not the most attractive picture, but most of you guys know my son Cole, and then there's my daughter Emma and my husband Dave, and we were quarantined just like the rest of you for about 6 months in our house. And we did well. We did a lot of house projects. The biggest house project we did was we put up a brand new barn, which was crazy. But we did. We got it up there. So anyways, that was a little bit about me. We'll stop our screen sharing here and go back. A little bit about this class. I'm going to try and just do these videos for you and not hold a live class, mostly because I'm working with students from 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and then I have my own 8th grade schedule. So to try and find a time that was free in everybody's schedule was nearly impossible. If, however, you find that you're not understanding things or you want more of a discussion, I would love it. My office hours are posted on my class page for 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock every day. Monday at 11 o'clock, I might not always be there. We've got a couple other meetings. And sometimes on Friday at 11 o'clock, our 8th grade team is doing something with the 8th graders. But 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, always. So please join me for those with the Zoom links. Okay. Thank you from last week. You did the what you already know about forensics. And I'd love to see some of your answers. You know, the way you submitted it was totally fine. I had no idea if you watched the PowerPoint, if you tried the questions first, but you guys are old enough, so you kind of understood the point of it. Most people understand that not all fingerprints are the same. That's why we can use them for identification. And fingerprints are one of our best types of evidence because they pinpoint the exact person that left those prints. Other types of evidence like hair, we all have our own individual unique hair colors, but you can't take one hair and say it specifically belonged on the head of that person. We can just say we have pretty good idea that it was that person based on color, the length of the hair, and you can even do other testing like drug testing and stuff on hairs. I'm trying to think some of the other things. An obese body burns much faster than a lean body because an obese body has a lot of fats, and fats burn. Trying to think what were some of the other things. The role of a forensic scientist in an investigation. I'm sure lots of you have watched CSI and all those other shows that are like that. They show the investigators going in and they check out the whole scene and then they collect all the evidence, and then next thing you see them back in the lab and they're analyzing everything. And then they're interviewing the possible suspects, and then they're at the trial and they're trying the whole case. That's not really what a forensic investigator does. Their job is to analyze the evidence. The police collect the information. The forensic scientist looks at the evidence and says, I can match it to this person, or I can put it at this crime scene, or this is where this soil came from. So with that, forensics is all about collecting evidence. If we want to pin a crime to a specific person, we have to have the evidence. And what better place to start getting the evidence but the people. So how good of an observer are you? I showed you a picture of my family, right? What do you remember from that picture? So here are some questions for you. How many people were in my family photo? What were they eating? What was on my son's shirt? Do you remember what color the countertops were? What was the overall mood of the picture? Who was on their phone? Do you remember? So those questions I'm going to post in a discussion, and I want you to take a crack at answering them. Let me know what you think that they were. Now, I know that you can go back and rewind this video and rewatch it, and you can look at the picture, study it, and get them all right. But in all, I just want you to see how much did you really remember when you made that observation. Hundreds, not just hundreds, thousands of people have been convicted of crimes over the years because an eyewitness said, I saw them do it. Do you think that they are always 100% observant or accurate in their observations? Well, we've got to, today's little video was pretty much about observations. So I have another video I'm going to show you, and you're going to watch some people toss a ball around, and you have to count how many times they toss the ball around. So I'm going to get that video together in just a second, and I'm going to show that to you. Okay, so here's our video. And the question they're asking is, how many passes does the team in white make?
Passes does the team in white make?
What'd you guess?
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
You see him? But did you see him the first time when you were making your observations? So they say it's very easy to miss something that you're not looking for. So if a crime were to happen in front of you and you weren't privy to the fact that this crime was going to happen, there's a pretty good chance that you weren't studying every single little detail that was going on in front of you. Many, many people, again, like I said before, many people have been sentenced to lifetimes in jail, to crimes, to death row, based solely on eyewitness testimony. And really, how accurate is eyewitness testimony? I'm sure that some of you saw that maybe you didn't make good observations of the picture, maybe you didn't see the moonwalking bear, maybe you did, in which case you would be a good eyewitness testimony. But keep in mind, we also have to be careful what kind of questions we ask to people, because I asked you who was on the phone in that picture. I could have been leading you to believe that somebody was on the phone. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. You'll have to go back and look at that picture. So anyways, I have, I'm going to upload a video, 2 videos. One of them is going to be a TED Talk, and it's going to talk about eyewitness testimony and the validity of eyewitness testimony. And the other video is going to show you a little study that I think he was a psychology professor did with his students. And again, it's going to be all based on observation. So for this week, keeping in mind observations, important to make, but what the point I really want to get across to you today is, or this week, is that observation is not the best sort of testimony when we're trying to pin a crime on a particular person. The job of the forensic investigator is to analyze that evidence that they were given to them, that was given to them. So they need to make sure that the evidence is not eyewitness testimony. It needs to be hair, it needs to be fiber, fingerprints. We need soil samples, DNA samples, saliva, semen, all those different things that can be left at a crime scene. All right, watch those other 2 videos, answer a couple discussion questions from this week, and have a good week.